Hey, wanted to get you a little video, show you working Louie a little bit more on the heel as we kind of venture away from the home and work more in the neighborhoods, off distractions and things like that. So this can be hard for a lot of dogs to maintain a heel position because it's easier for a dog to maintain a heel position when you're changing directions. But as you start on these straightaways, sometimes dogs can get a little distracted. And so occasionally I will turn up in somebody's driveway, do a little check-in with him, dial him back in if he's getting distracted by anything. One thing I do notice a lot with, I see this a lot with Cavaliers, spooky, huh? Is they have a tendency when they do get distracted, they get under your feet. And so as I'm working with him, I'm just checking in with him, like looking down at him, making sure he's not, I don't want to step on him. And then I'm going to use my leash, e-collar, and body language to communicate where I would like him to be. So he did great there. That's dogs startled us, and that happens sometimes. But he was able to check back in and find the heel position again. So after getting a little spooked. So one thing I'll do is as we're working, I'm just going to go away from him. If he doesn't completely come into the heel position and complete this space, then I'm going to start tapping the e-collar and using a little bit of leash as my guide. He's not ready to do this without the leash help, and we're only on a 3, so nothing crazy. So I'm just stepping away from him. Good. He completed that. There was 0 e-collar there. He did that all on his own. That's a good boy. Yeah. He's like, I did it. So I also want to be able to turn into him and have him yield to my spatial pressure, because that's going to keep him from going under my feet. He's a little bit more aware of where my body is. He can maintain a safe and good position next to me, paying attention, not getting stepped on. Good job, buddy. Good boy. So I'm gathered up quite a bit of this leash, but I don't want it to be tight. I want just a nice little loose U shape in it or J shape in it, depending on how you're looking at it. But I don't want to give him so much leash. Louie, heel. It's a nice juicy sucker. I don't want to give him too much leash, because with little dogs especially, it's going to get underneath their feet. And I want the leash to be a smooth tool that we use. And if we're fumbling a lot with the leash, sometimes it can be tricky to handle the leash. So yeah, just really maintaining this. If we go to a new area, like right here, we haven't been down this area, he's getting a little squirrely, I'm just going to do a check-in by changing directions. Good job, buddy. And encouraging him to maintain this focus. So this is something that I'll do if we pass other dogs, especially where he's pretty new to maintaining this heel position in a long stretch like this. Most of the time it's been in the driveway or like in a store entry where we're just changing directions. But on these straightaways, we come into new stuff. We have new noises like that. That car kind of spooked him. Same thing. I'm going to encourage him. If you get excited by something and squirrely, or if you get spooked by something, I'm going to encourage him to stay in this heel position, but really communicate with my body language and the leash where I want him to be as he's feeling the e-collar. So that's how I'm teaching him how to turn off the e-collar stimulation. So just on that 3 right there, I just did a little tap. And as I moved away from him, he completed that right here, little e-collar tap, moving away. Good job, buddy. So really helpful. A lot of times people will use e-collar alone at this, especially at this early stage, and they're finding that the dog starts to tune it out because it doesn't mean much to them, because they're not using secondary information, things like this leash. Most of the time, dogs will work lower on the e-collar when we give leash information, when we give body language information. It's when we don't give those things, the dogs start to tune out the stim, because the stimulation of the e-collar doesn't have a lot of meaning to them. And it starts to become almost like white noise, background noise. It doesn't have a lot of context. And so 3 is like nothing. It's so low. But he's feeling it, especially when he feels my presence leave. He feels the pressure of the leash come on, and so it's giving him meaning and understanding. And so I find dogs work higher on levels when they're out of tune with their owner, because we're not giving them a ton of information with our body language and our leash. Good job. And with Louie, he's super food driven, so we've been working a lot on stopping and having him in this position. It's hard with my phone. I would normally do this with my left hand, but my phone is in my left hand right now. So I would come in and reward right here for stopping next to me. I'm just really trying to encourage him to stay with me even if we stop. Heel. Nice job, buddy. He's doing so good. A couple things will spook him, but this is part of training, is getting them out of their comfort zone and working on the obedience around things that are exciting, stimulating, makes them nervous, and ultimately creating a lot of trust in us and healthy boundaries and all those kinds of good things. So he's doing good. Good job, Lou.